Most men these days suffer from a lack of confidence, and it's kind of understandable why that's the case. Just take one good look at the average man and you will understand why he's suffering from a lack of confidence and a lack of self-esteem. The guy's completely out of shape, his beard's all over the fucking place, looks a state, his hair's a mess, he hasn't fixed it up in the morning. It's called a hairdryer and a comb, mate. You've probably never heard of one. Clothes are usually pretty scruffy, and it's just completely out of shape, right? The body form is just out of shape. When you watch the film 300, you look at how the Spartans actually looked, you'll realize that they had this golden ratio, right? Where their shoulders are 1.6 times the size of their hip. It's hip to shoulder ratio, right? And the golden ratio is actually 1.6. Your shoulders need to be 1.6 times the circumference of your waist. That automatically makes you attractive. Okay, it's the golden ratio, it's the Adonis ratio, some people call it, because you want the big wide shoulders. You know, a man is defined by a large back and a skinny waist, not the other way around, which is what you tend to see on the average man. The average man's got skinny shoulders and a big waist. Yeah, that automatically makes you unattractive no matter what you say. Now, fair enough, if you've got a shitload of money, then the money makes you attractive. But you know what? I'd rather have the money and be attractive and get my body in order. So a lot of people ask me, how do I become confident, man? How do I become as confident as you are? I was walking to the gym this morning. I decided to walk up to the hottest girl that I saw on the way here. And I said to her, hey, you seem a little bit lost. And I thought maybe I'd come over and help you out. Are you looking for directions? She was like, oh no, I'm waiting for a friend of mine, and gave me a bit of spiel. I was like, oh cool, anyway, you seemed like a nice girl. I had a little chat with her for 5 minutes. And what was funny is that there was actually a guy that was also walking alongside me that had spotted her. And we both gave each other the look like, oh, look at her, she's lovely, she's lovely. So we were both checking her out, and we both had this sort of bro code where we were laughing at the fact that she was obviously very hot. And I wanted to make a point to him, to just show him, right? I literally want that guy to go home and say to himself, wow, what a pair of balls that other guy had. So I wanted to make a point in front of him. So what I did is I just rocked straight up to her and I started a conversation. And he actually stopped and watched the conversation, which was really interesting to see, by the way. But I just want this guy to be able to go home, forget about the girl. All right, fine, she was hot. I didn't get her number in the end. She was like, oh, sorry, I've got a boyfriend, I'm waiting for him. I was like, all right, no problem. All good, you're a lovely girl, take care. He's a lucky man. You know, just being nice, having a nice Saturday morning interaction. That won't be the first girl that I speak to today. You can bet your balls on that one. But the fact that the guy can now go home and be like, oh shit, that guy just rocked up to that girl during the day. What do you think is going to run through his mind next time he sees the hot girl? He's going to think about me. He's going to think, shit, that guy walked up to her. Why can't I walk up to her? He was also a good looking dude, to be fair. He was like in good shape. But before you do any of that, and I've discussed this in a video of mine recently, before you go and do any of that kind of stuff, the first thing you need to do is you need to have a level of confidence and self-esteem. If you're not confident before you walk up to a girl, she's going to smell it. She's literally got a sixth sense, right? She'll literally smell the lack of confidence on you. And that's going to be, you're going to lose. You've already lost even before you've walked up to her, right? I always say that the battle is won before you leave the house in the morning. If you leave the house in a bad mood, my bro, you've already lost. Like, you've literally already lost. It's a massive mountain to climb from that way onwards. Like, when I'm in a bad mood and I leave the house not in the right mindset, I ain't picking up no one. I'm not picking up no girls. I'm not making no contacts. I'm not networking. I'm not meeting anyone new, and I'm not putting out positive energy. And the whole idea really of living this life, to be honest, my friends, is to put out positive energies, to put out goodness in this world, positivity. Sure, make money, have a beautiful family, but be a positive person. Be positive for your community, right? Not just be some weirdo pickup artist who's roaming the streets trying to pick up girls. Those guys actually lose in the end, by the way. Most old school pickup artists are actually depressed fucking weirdo nerds, right, who have a shit life. Because they focus so solely on trying to pick up women in the game and the technical aspects of the game, whereas if they just actually focused on being a high quality, high value man, being in good shape, getting some level of status, I don't know, just working on their purpose, then they actually would have lived better lives and more fulfilling lives. So most pickup artists are actually fucked. And thank God I didn't end up one of them. I realized that it's important to have some level of technical game, to know how to speak, but you should be working on yourself as a man. Anyway, the most imperative part of you, in terms of building that confidence, in terms of walking up to that girl, what really is the recipe? How? How are you going to succeed in that? How are you going to become more confident? How are you going to have a higher self-esteem? You're going to do that by being positive about your own body. When I woke up this morning, I looked at my body and I thought, nice, looking good, bro. Let's go again. We're ready. So I won the battle at the beginning of the day. I literally won the battle with my own mind at the start of the day when I walked out of my own fucking house, right? Done my hair up a little bit, brushed my teeth, you know, put on this gym gear, and I was like, okay, I look good. Cool, I feel good. When you look good, you feel good. The rest of the day is surely going to go in a positive direction from there onwards, right? How am I going to have a fucking bad day if I've woken up and I think, okay, I look good, I feel good, I'm going to hit the gym now? The rest of the day usually is going to follow in that manner, unless someone obviously pisses you off, and of course there are many things that can happen in your day that could annoy you. I understand that. But the important thing is to get off to a good start. You know? If you're sitting there now scrolling other people's Instagram and you're looking at, you know, all these other people who have great bodies and you're not happy with your body, rest of the day is probably going to be pretty shit for you, let's be honest. Because you're not confident about yourself, you've got low self-esteem, you won't walk up to any girls, you won't make any new contacts, you won't come out with positive vibes, you won't bring the best version of you out there in the world. And people don't want to see, you know, no one's out here to help people who are introverted and crawling into their own world and not leaving the house. The world repays men who get the fuck out of the house and who are positive and who believe in themselves. The world repays those men, okay? So ultimately, the only thing that you can do for your confidence, the main thing you should be doing for your confidence, is putting your body in the shape that you imagine it could be. Okay, don't look at some of these other UK influencers like Mike Thurston, my good Irish friend Rob Lipset, who I did a podcast with. You know, lovely dude. These people genetically are insanely built. So no matter how many times you go to the gym, you will not look like these guys, okay? They're just built in a certain way because of their genes, right? You will not have the same body composition. But you can get into much better shape. And once you get into better shape, once you actually start hitting the gym, you start seeing more of a golden ratio, that your shoulders and your back are getting wider and your waist is getting slimmer. You'll start to feel more confident about yourself. You'll start to feel better about yourself. You'll start to feel like you are worthy of this world. You start to feel like you're worthy of good communication and good contacts. And you're also worthy of women's attention, right? That's probably what most of you really give a fuck about. To be honest, you're not trying to show off to other men. You're trying to show off so you got attention from girls. Admit it, especially if you're single. This doesn't really, even the married men, by the way, that are listening to this, you also want attention because you want to feel good about yourself. Because I know that your wife also wants a level of attention because she wants to feel good about herself. So why can't you feel good about yourself as well? Ultimately, getting yourself in shape, my friends, and getting that golden ratio is the number one way to improve your confidence. It's the number one way to improve that self-esteem, so that when you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, you're like, boom, damn, I look good. The rest of the day is going to be positive after that, because you're going to put on a nice shirt and it's going to fit you well, and then whoever you interact with is going to respect you. If you're out of shape, you are going to be completely disrespected when you approach people. You're going to be disrespected by men and women. And the last thing I want is for my subs and my viewers to be disrespected by people because I gave them some bad advice, or they went out and they felt like shit in the day and they think, oh, what's going wrong? Why am I not getting the right sort of attention? Why are these women turning me down? Well, you're not in the right shape.